अस्सलाम वालेकुम। इस लेक्चर में हम बायोलॉजी की या लाइफ की अनदर एस्पेक्ट से डेफिनेशन देखेंगे कि लाइफ की प्रॉपर्टीज़ देखेंगे हम बेसिकली इसमें कि लाइफ की कौन कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज़ होती हैं या एक ऑर्गेनिज्म के अंदर कौन कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज़ जो हैं वो हो सकती हैं। तो अकॉर्डिंग टू currently biologists accept that following phenomena are mostly exhibited by the organisms: homeostasis, organization, metabolism, growth, adaptation, response to stimuli, reproduction, and hereditary molecule is DNA. These are all the features that a living organism must exhibit. So, the properties of life, सबसे पहले जो है वो हम इसमें थोड़ी देख लेते हैं कि लाइफ की क्या प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं। मैंने आपको बताया कि एवरी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म इट नीड्स एनर्जी टू लिव एंड द नीड ऑफ दिस एनर्जी और डिमांड ऑफ दिस एनर्जी इज़ फुलफिल्ड बाय sum of chemical reactions that takes place in the body of the living organisms and produce and use energy, and this process is called as metabolism. Living organisms are classified by the way how which they get their energy. ठीक है, इस तरह भी हम लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स को क्लासीफाई कर सकते हैं कि हाउ दे गेट एनर्जी. दे मे प्रोड्यूस देयर ओन एनर्जी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल प्रोड्यूसर्स autotrophs, which are the mostly plants which make up their own food from the nutrients and the non-living source. They may be consumers, which are heterotrophs, which get their energy by consuming other organisms. They may get their food from the dead organisms, or they may get their food from the alive organisms. And the third way by which they get energy, they may be decomposers, which are also heterotrophs and which get their energy from dead organisms or the wastes. All these types of organisms, they live together in an ecosystem and make a food chain or network of food chain in the form of food web. लाइफ इज़ ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. ये मैंने आपको लास्ट लेक्चर में बताया कि लाइफ जो है ये कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज होती है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, लाइफ बिगिंस एट द लेवल ऑफ एटम. Atom combines to form biomolecules. Biomolecules assemble to form organelles. Organelles, they assemble at one point to form cells, and cells performing common function, they give rise to tissue, and tissues, they perform their specific functions in organs, and many organs working for a common system, and many systems are performing in the body of living organisms. Same species present at the same time, at the same space, at the same place give rise to population, and different populations at the same place at the same time, they give rise to community. Many communities, they give rise to ecosystem, and biosphere is the part of the earth where living organisms survive. This is about the organization of the life, that how life is organized. This is also a property of the life. Then adaptation. This is also a very important property of life. How life changes over time to become best suited to its environment, because survival of the best is the very well known concept of natural selection. And what is adaptation? Is inherited trait that make organisms better suited to its environment is called as adaptation. And the organism which is well adapted, it has better survival than others. And more successful reproduction also makes the organisms well suited and well adapted to their environment. Natural selection is another phenomenon which is a set of traits that make an organism more successful than other, and this happens through the adaptation. This is another important feature which makes the survival of the fittest best. Then enhanced reproductive success leading to more individuals. This is also very important property of the life, that is adaptation. Then regulation and homeostasis. Homeostasis is the process by which a cell or an organism maintains a state of internal constancy or equilibrium. यानी कोई भी सेल या कोई भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म अगर अपने इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट को स्टेबल करने की सलाहियत रखता है, अगर अपने इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट को कांस्टेंट रख पाता है, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज होम्योस्टेसिस. दिस इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द लाइफ. फॉर एग्जांपल थर्मोरेगुलेशन. अगर हम ह्यूमन्स की एग्जांपल लेते हैं तो हमारी बॉडी का टेम्परेचर जो है वो 37 डिग्री सी है एंड आवर होम्योस्टैटिक mechanism always keeps our body temperature 37 even if the outer environmental temperature may be 50 or it may be 10 degree C. यानी बाहर का टेम्परेचर जितना भी फ्लक्चुएट कर जाए लेकिन हमारी बॉडी का इंटरनल टेम्परेचर जो है वो ऑलवेज जो है वो 37 डिग्री सी पर ही स्टे करता है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द लाइफ, दैट इज होम्योस्टेसिस एंड रेगुलेशन. Then next property of the life, which is response to the external environment. Life can sense and react to stimuli. Stimuli are a set of changes which are taking place in the environment. This environment may be external environment and may be internal environment of the body of the organism. And to do this, a cell have to be in constant environment. और सेल तभी रिस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हैं जब वो एक कांस्टेंट एनवायरनमेंट पर स्टेबलाइज हुए होते हैं. तो वो किसी भी जो है वो चेंज को जो है वो रेस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हैं इन देयर एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट और इन देयर internal environment. Then reproduction, that is also a very important property of the life for their survival of the species and also survival of the individuals. Life produces itself, grows and develops. It may reproduce by asexual reproduction or it may reproduce by sexual reproductions. All offsprings are identical in case of asexual reproduction and offsprings have new combinations of the traits, or they may have different phenotypes and genotypes from their parents in case of sexual reproduction. And they may grow and develop by cell division. Growth में क्या होता है कि अपना cell का number increase होता है by cell division. Cell division is also very important phenomenon for increasing in the number of cell and ultimately you will get a developed organism. यानी इसमें development भी आ जाती है. This is also a very important property of the life. These are all the different properties of the life by which you can define the life by which you can define living organisms.